Sound, Mind, and Body is supported by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/inbound.
Some of the really cool stuff about sound healing is the research on water molecules. Because we're made of 70% water, the water molecules react to sound vibrations and frequencies. So in terms of the neurology, we're basically getting used to this theta state, which is the super relaxing, meditative, healing component, like healing brain state by the crystal bowls that we're using. We know that music and sound has such a deep resonating effect in our mind, body, and soul, you know? Mm-hmm. But basically, the hertz that we use get your brain to this theta brain state. Okay. And once you're there, you're in meditation.
Hello and welcome to Sound, Mind, and Body, a podcast where we interview inspiring people about the many different ways to stay healthy, balanced, and well of mind, body, and spirit in today's crazy world with a dash of woo-woo. I'm your host, Sheila Melody. And before we start, I'd just like to take a moment to welcome all our new listeners. We are growing with each new episode and are so grateful for your support. I'm really excited about 2019 and the new projects and offerings we'll be announcing, so stay tuned. Okay, today you are in for a treat because we're going to be talking about sound baths and have a real live demonstration. Our guests today, Shanila and Gina, are Sound Alchemists based in Los Angeles. They use different sound frequencies and vibrations from ancient instruments like crystal singing bowls, Tibetan bowls, and gongs to revitalize the mind, body, and spirit. Their sound baths are described as an immersive journey, taking you through a deep meditation, the jungle, the ocean, and all the way to a simple, happy place. All you have to do is lay back and relax and let the sounds wash over you. I am so interested to learn more about the healing power of sound baths. So welcome, Gina and Shanila.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. We're so excited to be here.
You know, this has been a long time coming because Tim and I have been talking about sound baths probably all year. And then I think I might have, energetically Gina sent me a message on Instagram inviting me to a sound bath, which I was like, oh my God, I want to go to a sound bath. This is awesome. And so I finally went to one of your sound baths. This was a couple months ago. Absolutely loved it. You guys are magical, wonderful. And I've been to a couple now. So thank you, Gina.
Thank you for coming. It was such an amazing experience to have you there and see you. We just love everyone we meet at the sound baths. They bring such an amazing energy to us as we give and share our gifts. They bring us healing too. So it's an amazing experience.
And it's always awesome to see people who experience it for the first time because they have either a preconception of what it's going to be like or they have no idea. So they just come in and, you have to let the sound bath speak for itself.
Right, exactly. So let's start a little bit from the beginning. Let's get a little bit of background on you two. So Shanila, let's start with you. How did you get into doing this? What's a brief story?
My brief story, I think on and off for several years, I've just been really fascinated with sound. And I kind of just happened to land on it totally by accident. I was in this very stressful job and I brought with me today this little Tibetan bowl that is my first introduction to sound healing. And what happened was I had this bowl with me and I would feel really stressed out at my job and I would really just sit and ding it. And for some reason, it would just totally calm me down. And I have no idea what I thought was the, scientific reason, or I didn't have any preconceived notion of what it was doing to me. I just knew that it would just totally zen me out. Uh-huh. And I started to notice that it actually made me sleep better. Oh. And I was less stressed out. So in the morning, I would make a little bit of time to just sit and ding my little bowl for 5 to 10 dings, and just very quick. And it's really hard to make an excuse for not having that time to like create that time to just like be by your little Tibetan bowl just for self-care, you know? And I ended up experiencing my first sound bath at a music festival, actually.
Where?
Yeah, in Lightning in a Bottle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was basically a bunch of people with their crystal bowls and gongs. I'm like, okay, what is this? You know, they're just like dinging around with their crystal bowls. And I just laid down. I didn't really know what it was. And it changed my life. Like, it changed me. I was like, what is this? What just happened? This cuckoo caca, like crystals and all this stuff, you know? And I'm like, whoa, what is this? And I stayed for another 2 sessions afterwards. So I was there for like a total of 3 hours, just like high on the sounds. Like, yeah. So that, I would say that's my total dip into the sound healing world about 3 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then why don't you ding your little bowl that's right there? Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
This is very special to me.
Ah, that sounds beautiful.
So as I'm holding it in my hand, I can also feel the vibrations of this bowl, which has a different effect on the experience of dinging this bowl. It's not just the sound, but all the vibrations that I'm feeling in my hand as well.
Right.
Yeah. And through time, just even this like simple little bowl that I can carry with me, it really just helped me kind of like be less anxious and be less stressed out at this very, very, very stressful job that I was doing.
Wow. That's a powerful tip. And we'll take a picture of your bowl too, because that's a good place to start, right? For
and
people.
It's beautiful.
So what is your story, Gina?
I found sound. You know my brother Henry?
Yes.
He is a speaker.
I want to have him on the podcast.
Yes,
too.
Henry, calling Henry. No, so he held an event in Highland Park, and one of his friends was a sound healer that had the big Tibetan bowls, and they had the gongs, and it was the first time that I've ever experienced something like that. And it was during a time that I was going through just so much, you know, when the world kind of crashes on you. Mm-hmm. That was my time. I was going through a separation. I lost both my parents. Went to cancer.
Oh gosh.
And I got into a really debilitating car accident at that same time, and I was just really low. You know, when all those things happen, there's a point where you fall into depression, you falling into feeling lost. Mm-hmm. So that was my first experience with sound, and I didn't really know what it was doing for me. And then a little bit later, I came across another sound healing session, and immediately the pains in my body that were aching from my car accident started to dissipate slowly.
Wow.
And I was in a better mood. I was sleeping a lot better, but it really affected my psyche and dealing with my anxieties. I would get panic attacks almost every week. Mm-hmm. And since I started regularly going to them, I haven't had one since.
What is regularly? Once a week?
Once a week.
Once a week
I would go once
enough.
a week.
Wow. And that can change.
And I did buy a bowl, a crystal quartz bowl, the ones that we play as well.
And you used to use that on yourself?
Yeah, and just play it as well. This was a little bit after. As soon as I started playing it, the nerve pain that I would get actually just went away.
Wow.
And that was just constant. So
that is
very
really
healing.
Amazing. So once you both discovered this and discovered the power of the sound bath, do you become certified in this, or how did you get into actually performing sound baths and meet each other and do this together?
In terms of certifications, there's definitely a few different routes to go. This is one of those things where it takes a lot of intuition and a lot of self journey to kind of get into something like sound healing. Mm-hmm. So it's different for everybody how they perceive or how they want to pursue something like wanting to perform sound baths. And a lot of people have like a very neurological perspective on how they perform the sound baths. And, and a lot of people have a very spiritual perspective. And for us, it's a mix of both. We kind of take a journey on either side of the spectrum to kind of like get to how we want to perform the sound bath. And so for us, we were actually getting trained on how to learn how to play the crystal bowls. And what happened was me and Gina, we just ended up connecting just so deeply on a really spiritual, like soul sister level. And we're like, we want to do this. And I had just left that stressful job that I was just talking about. And Gina was just down to come and learn with us. And
it was over text.
It was just over text, and
It was over text.
That she messaged me. She goes, "Hey, I lost my job. Do you want to do this with me?" And I wasn't going to go full force so quickly. And she went with her message. I was like, "Hey, let's do it." So we ordered all our equipment.
Oh my God!
And then it was created literally in 1 second. Almost like 3 days later.
Yeah, almost like 3 days later. But we'd each been on our individual journeys to this path for a while. Just Gina on her own path and me on my own path, and kind of just collided at a really beautiful time.
Whoa. And so when you said, yeah, let's do it. So what was your first sound bath together? Where did you do it? Or do you book at a studio, or what do you do?
Yeah, we just asked for the opportunities, and they came to us. So we just asked people like, "Hey, do you want to take a chance on a sound bath?" And we're really into our research of how to do the sound baths and how it affects people, how it affects moods, how it affects the body. So we had already been doing that kind of research on the back end for it. So by the time it came to do our first sound bath, we were just ready. We're like, okay, we know exactly what it is. We stay ready, you know?
Right.
I think the universe was just like, finally, we've been waiting for you. You've been prepared for this. And as soon as we made the decision, the doors just opened. And it just is a testament to just life in itself. You know, what you focus on expands. And the minute that we focused on this and really did the work to get it, people cross our paths that opened up these doors. And then we were able to meet people that were looking for us and looking for that healing as well.
Oh, so you perform these sound baths all around the city of Los Angeles, basically.
Yes.
For classes. There's many different places you go. You're in Venice, you're in Santa Monica, you're in NoHo, you're in
Pasadena, Santa Monica.
All different times and different days.
We wanted to spread the healing, not just, to the
go
west
in
side.
one studio. Yeah.
Some people are like, sound bath, what's that? How do you bring the water? You know?
That's what I know. That's what people think. They're like, wait,
so
I don't
cute
get
when
it.
we hear that, but then it's our way to educate. It's our way to educate people then that no, it's a bath of vibrations. It's about the bath of healing. So, and then they experience it and they're like, whoa, where's this been all my life?
Yes, that's how I felt. I mean, I was really open to it and I knew about it, but I could just never get to one. And so I do think it's divinely guided that I found you guys, because it was the perfect timing. So let's talk a little bit about the scientific effects. So what are some of the scientific reasons that a sound bath makes you feel so great?
There's so many different variations to why you feel good, and some of the explanations are super neurological and super biophysical. And on the other end, it's the spiritual component of that, right? So in terms of the neurology, we're basically getting you to this theta state, which is the super relaxing, meditative, healing component, like healing brain state, by the crystal bowls that we're using. So they're tuned to 432 hertz frequency, which helps you get to this entrainment spot. Like if you ever heard of like binaural beats, or
we just talked to our prior guest about that. Yeah, exactly.
It's just like that. It's basically an ancient method that we've had through all times. You know that music and sound and vibrations, they make you feel a certain way. When you're listening to a song, it makes you feel a certain way. Or people have chanted for healing.
True.
People sing for joy. People sing for healing and spirituality and all of that. We know that music and sound has such a deep resonating effect in our mind, body, and soul, But basically, the hertz that we use get your brain to this theta brain state. Okay. And once you're there, you're in meditation. So if you're somebody who has like a really tough time like sitting and meditating, or you think like meditating looks like, you gotta be on a mountaintop like, with your legs crossed and, just like chanting everything. And a lot of people, like a lot of us don't have the patience and ability to do that right off the bat. So this is like a cheat cheat sheet, like a cheater's way to get
you there,
get to that state, but you still get the same healing kind of effects from that. And another component that it affects is the water of your body. Some of the really cool stuff about sound healing is the research on water molecules. And because we're made of 70% water, the water molecules react to sound vibrations and frequencies. So this really cool study was these water molecules were frozen after different frequencies were played to them and different things were said to them. So like, I love you was said to the water molecules, or I hate you were said to the water molecules. And they flash froze these molecules. And what they found was the ones that had, you know, prettier frequencies or prettier words that were said to them had perfect mandalas, or they made really beautiful molecular structures. And the ones that were played kind of nastier words, like I hate you and, you know, anger made kind of
these different like uglier patterns.
Exactly.
Or
uglier.
Random or
Yeah. And that's really crazy to think.
It's not like perfectly formed, right? It's
not perfectly formed and looks a lot dissonant than like these beautiful crafted water molecules. And that's interesting to me because we're made of so much water.
Yeah.
So, you know, the words that you say, the intentions you have behind them, the frequencies that you expose yourself to or you're just naturally exposed to has so much effect on your body. You know, we don't really tend to think of it because we're thinking in terms of like our physical body that's not including the water that's in our
we're not
body.
thinking of all the little molecules
on the molecular and cellular level.
Right.
Yeah.
So Gina, you were talking earlier when you first brought your stuff in here about the different tones or the different
the way that we play very in a manner to promote the healing. So the certain notes that we play, the certain notes that we play and the certain way we play them actually promote the nitric oxide cycle in the body, which is a natural healing cycle.
How does that work?
The cells start to speak. It's just certain notes when combined. John Bailu, who's a pioneer at sound healing, discovered, the nitric oxide cycle was discovered by 3 researchers. And that's where the pharmaceutical companies come in with their pills trying to promote this cycle in your body. So then later on, a neurologist and a physicist found that these notes, when combined, actually promote this nitric oxide cycle in your body as well. So we make a point to ensure that one of the sets we play includes these notes. So the cells start speaking to each other, the negative ions and the positive ions, and that cycle actually gets promoted in the body within 30 seconds of hearing that combination.
And then does it linger? Do you keep, achieving, like how long after you've had a sound bath do you keep vibrating to that, or do you know? I mean,
we always say act as if the vibrations are still in the body. They still resonate because your body still vibrates with the water, like the ripple effect. But we recommend once a week coming back. We do that as well. We receive as well as give, and as we play, we actually are also healing ourselves. I haven't had pain since we've started playing, and if there's a longer time where I have not played, I notice the differences in my body, with the muscles.
So you guys are doing this like literally almost every day, right? Are you
about 2 times a week?
At least 2 times a week. So how does it? For you guys, you're feeling it. Gina, you're saying that you don't feel any pain and you're feeling relaxed. And how does it affect you, Shanila?
Well, for me, it's definitely different to receive than to give.
Oh, really? Meaning just where you lay down and you just... are in the receiving mode. In the
receiving mode is when somebody else is playing for you, right? Okay. So you get to chill out and relax, and it can be as active and as passive as you wish it to be. But when you're giving, there's an active meditation portion that goes in it too, because you are the one sending out the vibrations from the bowls, from your gong, from your Tibetan bowls, and all the instruments that are using. Right. So we have to always make sure that we are actively meditating, so the vibrations that we're sending out are good.
Oh, yeah.
It's not bad energy. It's a positive energy. So it's a more mindful experience than, just playing the instruments, at least for the two of us. So
Yeah,
that's
while
how
we're playing, we actually repeat in our mind, I love you, I'm sorry, thank you, please forgive me. Yeah. Like,
how do you say that? The opono.
Yeah, like the forgiveness meditation.
Yeah.
So we are actively sending out, because, your energy precedes you. That's just my personal opinion. I'm sure others believe that too, since we're energy and vibration. And as we send it out, we know that they're receiving not only the vibrations, but also that goodness with the power of thought and word.
Oh, I like that. That's interesting. Have you ever heard of or gone to a sound bath where you didn't like the energy?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And that has a lot to do with the sequence of how the instruments are played.
Oh.
And like Gina was saying, we are very mindful in the sequence that we play the instruments in order to activate these theta states, in order to get these cycles to release and to activate the nervous system, right? And so what can happen is that a lot of times we'll get to that state, but there's not like a come down from it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of like waking up from a nap at the wrong time.
Okay.
Like, and you feel groggy, like you still had a nap and you like theoretically relaxed, but you are just woken up at a different part of your brain state than is right for your body. So there are definitely different times where I'm like, okay, that was nice, but I'm feeling a little.
You didn't get brought down back into your body and into a more grounded state, right?
Yeah. And we work in the circadian rhythm, right? So it's like a little sine curve. And there's a specific spot where our brain wants to elevate and a specific spot where it wants to drop off. And we're very mindful in the sequence. So if we know we have 1 hour, we know we have to adjust our sequence in this way. If we have 15 minutes, we know we have to adjust our sequence in this way. And that's kind of some of the back end work. And there are instruments that we use that aren't really related to activating the nervous system, activating any meridians. They're just pretty instruments. Like yesterday, I was playing this frog instrument because I really love the sounds of nature, and that doesn't have like a scientific reason for why it existed in that sequence, right? But it's still,
you were creating the whole atmosphere.
Right.
Okay, cool. Well, we're going to take a break, and then when we come back, we're going to actually experience a sound bath from Gina and Shanila, and I'm so excited about this. Okay. So we'll be back in a little bit.
Hey, it's Tim Edwards with the Inbound Podcasting Network and producer of Sound, Mind, and Body. Just the fact that you're listening to the Sound, Mind, and Body podcast tells us that you enjoy consuming your content through your ears. Now, if you're a podcast listener, you're a perfect fit to enjoy audiobooks. So for you, our listeners, and official members of Sheila's woo-woo community, Audible is offering you a free audiobook download and a free 30-day trial to check out their awesome service. Give it a shot. You've got nothing to lose. It's absolutely free for 30 days, and you get a free audiobook to keep even if you don't continue with the subscription. Support Sound, Mind, and Body by visiting audibletrial.com/inbound. That's audibletrial.com/inbound. We'll include a link in the show notes, or just click the Audible banner at soundmindbodypodcast.com.
On the next episode of Sound, Mind, and Body, join us as we have our 1-year celebration. Lisa May will be joining us. My producer Tim will be in on it. And we are bringing back Kala Maxim of 5 Senses Tastings. She's going to do a very special tasting just for Sound, Mind, and Body to celebrate all of our wonderful guests throughout the year. Don't miss it. It'll be really fun. That's next week on Sound, Mind, and Body. Okay, we're back, and we are talking to Sound Alchemists, Gina and Shanila, and here is a little taste of a sound bath. Wow, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And that was just like literally 1% of what a real sound bath would be with you guys, because I've been to a few. And what I love is how it changes. As Tim was mentioning, he was walking around the studio here and he mentioned that it felt different when he was standing in one place as to the other. So it's the vibrations are bouncing off the walls, you said, and things like that. And you were saying that in one studio you can hear like chanting.
Yeah, these are called crystal singing bowls, and now we know why. Sometimes people hear like a really deep chanting voice, kind of harmonizing over the sounds, and sometimes it's like a high pitched angelic voice too.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. And I used to think it was just us, but now other people are telling
they're
us
hearing
Someone
it.
stopped us literally afterwards and was like, "Wait a minute, did anyone hear this in the room?" And then everyone was like, "Yes, yes, yes."
Oh my gosh!
So it's pretty amazing.
I'm gonna lay in a different place next time. I want to hear that.
And what's amazing is when we start with some chanting and setting intentions, and we laugh to raise our vibration. So it actually raises our own vibration to receive. So
Well, I highly recommend. Now, you guys also, just very briefly before I get to my sound, mind, and body questions, do you work with people individually?
yes, we do.
And how do you do that? So they contact you and then you have a consultation, or give us an example.
Well, mainly we do a lot of private sound baths, so it could be just groups of people who would like us to come into their homes, and the energy of their homes are a little bit different than coming into a yoga studio or a bigger space. So they'll just tell us, this is what we're looking for. Sometimes it's a bachelorette party. We're like, yeah, we just want a chill night, with my girlfriends, and we'll just go from there.
Some self-care, some self-love. We even do vibrational sound therapy, which is with the Tibetan bowls. Around the body, and that actually promotes a lot of healing as well. Privately.
Well, maybe I think what I'm definitely going to do a sound, mind, and body sound bath. It just sounds like it's perfect in January, and maybe like the 3rd or 4th week of January. And I will let everybody know about that. And I'm so excited to do that. I'd love to invite all my former guests and everybody who's a listener that's in the area to come and experience a sound bath, because I think it's just a great way to start the year too, right?
It definitely is, to manifest, to set our intentions, to change our vibration, and also to celebrate ourselves and give ourselves, this is part of your self-care plan.
Right.
It definitely is. That's what we share. And it'll be really exciting to do that with you and celebrate your 1 year also.
Yay, I know. We've been doing this for a year. Woohoo. And more to come, so much more to come. So let me get to the sound, mind, and body question. So let's start with Shanila. What's a favorite sound?
Oh, nature, hands down.
Nature.
Streams, rivers, crunchy leaves, willow trees, everything nature. Yeah.
Oh, love that. And what about you, Gina?
Mine's definitely like the ocean drum, brings back the waves, the beach, it just takes me away. So that's one of my favorites.
That is one of my favorites too. It's like you're at the ocean.
Yeah.
That thing is amazing. It's amazing. Okay, so Shanila, favorite memory.
Favorite memory? Oh, I love hot chocolate. Probably anytime I drink hot chocolate is a good memory.
Oh, really? That's a great memory that you can like recreate very easily.
That was tasty.
Hot chocolate. It's coming in. It's been chilly in LA, so we can have that now. How about you, Gina?
Mine it's Taco Bell with my family. Growing up, we lived across the street from Taco Bell, and it's very nostalgic to me, even though I try to limit eating it.
Yeah, right. But you know what? Taco Bell to me is every time I've moved, for some reason, I go to Taco Bell because it's easy, right? And it's tasty.
It is. I know it's not like supposed to be, but it is.
I know it is. It's really good. Okay, I'm with you on that one. Okay, Shanila, favorite place?
Favorite place? Oh, I love these caves in the Pinnacles National Forest. It's in Northern California. Yeah, there's this whole intricate cave system, and then you hike and you come to this beautiful reservoir, and it's pretty freaky, but very cool.
And is that up north?
It's up north, yeah. Okay. About 40 minutes from Oakland.
Oh, that sounds beautiful. I'm going to have to check that out. And how about you, Gina, favorite place?
I love Barcelona. Yeah.
I've never been.
I almost moved there, but I just love it. That and Italy. I think those two, like Thai, to me.
Maybe you'll end up there.
Yeah, if Italy feels like home, but
Well, I'm glad you didn't end up there right now.
no, I'm here for a while.
Barcelona. All right. So now, Shanila, what is the most woo-woo thing you've ever done?
Oh, geez. Probably dream travel. My best friend and I realized we can meet each other in dreams.
What?
Yeah. And so, I mean, I feel that we've always been able to, but recently we discovered that we've been seeing each other in dreams.
Oh my gosh.
And now we can travel together. It's pretty wild.
And you intend to do it and you do it.
Yeah.
You're kidding.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Now, how do you do that? It's a long process.
If I knew how to share that, I would share it.
You just go to sleep and say, "Hey, see you in my dreams."
I see you.
That's
and we'll
awesome.
journal about it separately and then share details just to corroborate the experience. It's pretty wild.
Oh my gosh. Something I need to explore. That's really cool. Okay, Gina, most woo-woo
I've had
thing.
a soul retrieval, and it was during my darkest time.
Really?
And I was not into the woo-woo stuff at all.
Really?
Like, this was very new, tiptoeing in, and someone's like, you need to go see this person. Like, because, I felt dark. Like, I felt like there was nothing there inside and just dark. That's the only way I could describe it. And literally, she said, tomorrow, all your senses are going to be so heightened. And it was the absolute truth. I mean, I was eating breakfast, and the pancake tasted like heaven. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So I wouldn't have believed it if I didn't go through it myself, because it was like, someone turned the light on. And
wow.
It was very, very
and
fascinating.
it was just kind of like a session, like an energy work or something.
She worked on me for like 4 hours, but it was like Reiki mixed with energy work and probably pranic healing, but different things. And she actually played a bowl before she started, and this is before
you got into
bowls
that
at all. Yeah, and it was
soul
if I didn't
retrieval.
experience it and someone said that, I'd be like, you're crazy. But literally the next morning I was out with friends, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she told me this. She told me I was going to be feeling this, and it was just like all this energy, and I just felt alive, like I'm back.
Gosh.
It's fascinating.
That sounds really awesome. Might have to interview her. Well, you guys, okay, there's way too much to talk about with you two, and I would love to have you back to talk more about this sound bath thing. And I'd love to maybe experience something, on my own with you or in a small group. But I'm definitely going to have a Sound, Mind, and Body sound bath to start out 2019. And in January, I'll let everybody know. And they can all get in touch with you through the different links I'll put in the show notes. And you have a few sound baths coming up. Right after listening to this podcast, they will have a couple in the end of December, mid to end of December. So check the websites and go. That's all I can say. Go. Get your butt there. So thank you guys for coming.
Thank you so much.
so much
We
for
can't
having
wait
us.
to meet all of you that are listening. It's just so special to us. So please just come see us and introduce yourself. Give us a hug.
Yeah, that's what you did. She just comes up and gives you a big hug, and you're just like, I love this. It's so great. Thank you for being here, you two.
Thank you so much.
Well, that's it for this episode. Have you ever experienced a sound bath? What did you think? Let us know. Send us an email or voice memo to soundmindbodypodcast@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening. And if you like the podcast, we would so appreciate it if you give us a review on iTunes. It really helps new listeners find us. Thank you to our producer, Tim Edwards, and the Inbound Podcasting Network. And thank you to our guests, Gina and Shanila. Get in touch and join the conversation. We're on Instagram at Sound Mind Body Podcast, or find us on Facebook, YouTube, or the web. Search for Sound Mind and Body Podcast. I'm Sheila Melody. Join us next week as we explore, enlighten, and evolve.